for a lot of people, they don't understand what Hargrave is. Hargrave is an unbelievable elite prep school. But what I learned was it was the first opportunity for me to call timeouts. It was the first opportunity for me to form a practice schedule. It was the opportunity actually for me to make mistakes. I had the opportunity to go work for Coach Pitino at Louisville, and when you look at what we did at UNCW, you'll see a little bit of 10 years as a head coach at Hargrave Military Academy mixed in a little bit of what Louisville has done. You'll see the same thing here. I love the guys that we've got in the program. Obviously, we've got some challenges and we got to fill some holes. But when you look at these guys, the first thing I'll do with them is to try to get them in the best shape of their life. We always have prided ourselves on being the best conditioned team in the country. That's one of the things that I want to bring to NC State.
I think 7-8 years ago you said that you were never going to go back to college. And then Louisville came, and now look at the ride that you've been on since. Is it amazing to think back when you're...
You know, it's and I don't know how you remember that, but...
That's what I do, Coach.
Internet. I will tell you this, when I started off at Hargrave, and most of you guys, some of you guys will remember, there's a guy about 2 hours down the road from Hargrave near Charlottesville now named Fletcher Aaron. Traditional, unbelievable person. He's done a great job, developed a lot of men, great Christian guy, great family. And I really wanted to be Fletcher Aaron. I didn't want to leave. I said, man, I got a great job at Hargrave. I'm 45 minutes from my parents. And then opportunities not getting a chance to go to Louisville, which is great because, think about this. It's a select group of guys and coaches who have the opportunity to win a national championship. I'm one of those guys, and then Wilmington came up, and it only gets better because this is a national championship program. It's an unbelievable opportunity for me, something that I don't take for granted. I'm going to work every day like I'm on, this is my last day to work, and if I don't do good, then I have a chance to get fired, and that's the way I want to build this program.
How do you get the players to buy into that? I was talking to them, they said, it's just been kind of a weird time for them, obviously transitioning to a new coach, and, with new people coming in, they have to get readjusted to everything too.
Well, I think it's important that with the players that you build a relationship with them. For me, it's always been about family and knowing that, you care about those guys. And, I'm going to be the first person in the office, the last to leave. I'm going to be the first person to the court. I told those guys that no matter what you're going throughout the day, it's important that when you walk in between those lines that you focus and you just think about NC State basketball, and that's what we want to talk about. I meant it when I said it. I think this was a good bunch of guys, but I'm not so sure that they didn't always play for the name on the back of the jersey. If we can get everybody to play together and play for NC State, then certainly we'll go a long ways.
Have you been able to talk to Thomas Allen, and did you explain to him who David West was?
I talked to Thomas Allen, and I had a great conversation with him. I didn't talk about David West. He's already signed, so I didn't have to throw my David West at him right away.
How daunting is not only the skill level of the ACC, but the contrasting styles? You mentioned Virginia. That's a team NC State's had a lot of problems with over the years.
I think in order to compete in this conference, you got to do something different. Or something unique. When you think about Virginia, they have something that's unique. When you think about Syracuse, you know that you're going to play against a 2-3 zone. I want people to think when you play against NC State, I want them to think that they're going to have to play 40 minutes against pressure the whole time. And I think you got to be special. It's some tremendous coaches in this league, as everybody know. It's some tremendous programs in this league. I have a lot of respect for every coach and every program, but we'll be a little different from most.
How is it?
You mentioned being an NC State fan. Was there a certain instance that led to that?
It wasn't because at the time, I wasn't a Virginia fan, and Virginia Tech was in Atlantic 10 or the Big East, and so the closest other school to me was NC State, and I became a fan.
How did your time at Hargrave in terms of retooling the roster help transition to you being a college coach?
When I was at Hargrave, and I left Hargrave the first time to go to Marshall, and then came back for 8 years, and then obviously went on to Louisville. It's crazy, and this may sound funny, it was a little easier for me to recruit. I say that because when you're at a Division I program, you've got juniors, freshmen, sophomores, seniors, and you only lose 3 or 4 guys a year. Well, at Hargrave Military Academy, I had to bring in 15 guys per year, and I had to recruit 15 All-Americans that I thought could be able to play at the highest level. So through all of that, I was able to get some unbelievable contacts through AAU coaches and high school coaches, and meet everybody in the country that were involved with kids, and that's really helped me out.
What were a couple of the toughest questions you got from Debbie during the interview process?
I think my vision, which is not a tough question, the vision of where you see the program and what you think about the program and what your expectations are. I told them my vision is obviously to build the program, not to build a great team. I don't want this to be a situation where we win one year and then the next 2 or 3 years we don't win and then we win. I think it's important to lay the foundation and try to build a program. And it's, listen, we've got to be patient. Obviously, we've got some challenges. I'm not naive to understand that this team only won 4 games in the ACC last year. We've got to try to gradually build it. I hope everybody will be patient with that. But I hope in a few years you'll see that we've built a national championship program.
Being in one bid league, what did you learn about pressure, game in, game out?
Oh my goodness, that's the goodness. When on Monday when we played the championship game, we were about to play the championship game. It was the toughest day of my life when I was at UNCW, because I'm thinking to myself, we're 28-5, and if I don't win this game tonight, I'm gonna probably go to the NIT. So it's tough. Now that I'm on the other side, everybody's gonna say, well, what's your thoughts now about taking more mid-major schools and less high-major schools? Now I'm gonna flip on you guys. No, I'm not. I think the committee has to take a look at possibly rewarding some mid-major teams that have a great year. I wish it was mandated that if you won your regular season and you're a mid-major program, you have the opportunity to go and represent your conference in the NCAA, because that's the best team that you could put out there.
With that in mind, we talked a lot at UNCW this year about RPI and playing quality teams. Any chance that now that you're here, there's an NC State UNCW game at some point?
Yeah, it's a very good chance, but I can tell you now, it will not be at Trash Coliseum, just so you know.
Being here today at Reynolds and on campus here at NC State, what stands out to you about this campus and this place?
Well, it's beautiful. And it's a great place to recruit to. When you think about it, I was talking to the chancellor. I think we're up to 34,000 students. It's an unbelievable place. The facilities are top notch. I think, and it's still growing. I'm impressed with the city of Raleigh and how it's grown over the years. Our guys, I told them, I said, don't take this stuff for granted, but you've got some of the best facilities in college basketball. Start playing like that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.